Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
All right, we have movie updates. That's exciting, right?
Like real ones or like announcements that won't happen? Because this feels like something that might not happen.
Well, remember, originally we were promised a film December 19th, 2025. Well, that's not happening.
Yeah, we've been promised a lot of things when it comes
People
to
are
movies.
saying that one could be attributed to the writer's strike. Kind of can contribute to the pushback of why the first date had to be moved. But now they're planning on releasing 2 films in 2026, 7 months apart.
It's funny how you go from no movies, that'll be 7 years between films almost, or 6.5 technically. And now they're going to be like 2 in a year.
Ta-da!
How about you just get one out? That'd be cool.
Yeah, so the new dates are May 22nd, 2026, and December 18th, 2026.
So strange to like put 2 so close together. You think they just want to spread them out or space them out just for the sake of it?
One a year would be probably great.
What if the first one comes out and just falls flat?
That doesn't bode well for the second one.
Exactly.
Another thing that is kind of weird as to why they picked May 22nd, that's 3 weeks after Avengers The Kang Dynasty is supposed to be coming out into theaters. Yeah, they're competing with themselves.
Well, I
in a way.
mean, 3 weeks, you're kind of the bulk of it has died down.
you
Yeah,
think?
I think.
All right. It's still weird that they're so close together. I mean, why not just push it back another week, give it a month, you know?
Well, May 22nd, so close to the original release date. I prefer May just out of tradition, but I
I know.
actually haven't minded the December releases for the sequels and all. Not saying they were great movies, but just having them around Christmas has been nice.
But part of this is they bumped Avatar, just got bumped back. Because I think this is the other, there was supposed to be an Avatar in December.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that's getting pushed back.
Probably because they take a long time to make movies that earn $2 billion at the box office.
Yeah.
It's crazy to...
Glorious to behold.
I'm actually stunned. I mean, not to totally change topics. I'm stunned that second one made as much as it did. Not because it wasn't enjoyable. It was an enjoyable experience in the theater. I think we talked about it. I think we reviewed it. But just that it was, again, so much money. So many people flooding to the theater to see that thing.
Absolutely.
I know you're a big Avatar fan. I'm like, yeah, they're fine.
The third of the Star Wars movies that we're told are coming is supposed to come out December 17th, 2027. So
a
the
year
following
after.
year, yes. What people don't know yet, we don't know what
Which 3?
which 3. We assume that the first one, the one that's going to come out in May, is going to be the
Rey
Rey movie.
That'd be my guess.
Right now, everyone's pegging that the second one, the December one, is going to be...
Mangold.
No,
I'm
people are
saying
guessing
Mangold.
it's Filoni's.
Nope.
I think he might
I'll
need
tell
more
you why
setup
I think
for
that
his.
in a second.
All right, well, tell me why.
Okay, the second has gone by. I've been theorizing for a while now that the Rey movie is going to be really directly connected to the Mangold origin of the Jedi film. Rey
makes
is going to
sense.
be learning from those ancient Jedi texts that she found on Ahch-To, and in that Mangold Dawn of the Jedi film, whatever you want to call it, those texts are going to be written. You're literally going to have direct quotes from one to the other. You're going to have Rey reading the book and saying something that will eventually be written down in that other book. And so I think they're going to be relatively close to each other in release just to capitalize off of that and kind of feed off each other.
Well, what about Taika Waititi?
Who?
Exactly. Don't make it too goofy. We've already decided that's too bad.
That's all you got to do.
Not make it too goofy.
Make it too goofy. Like, Ragnarok was like the threshold. Any further than Ragnarok and Thor Ragnarok, of course.
Yes,
I mean,
because then any further than that, you push into Love and Thunder territory, which
yeah,
is too goofy.
there should be like a dial or a little,
It's sad when even
indicator.
the actors come out and go like, hey,
Yeah.
that movie was a little too...
I was kind of happy to hear Chris Hemsworth say that because
Right, me too.
It just feels like he's just. I mean, he's such a charismatic guy, like right,
Super charismatic.
Which is why I think they leaned into the humorous side of it and they let him go with it because it just worked and people loved it. But even he realized like we went too far with it.
Yeah, because we did go too far
Yeah,
with
way too far with it. in my
Way
opinion.
too far. You jumped the horse or something.
Yeah, the horse or the shark.
Jump the shark. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Jumping the wrong
fawns
animal. I'm
back
sorry,
in the-
everybody.
Hey, they jumped the wrong animal, and that's how badly they jumped over something. It was the wrong animal entirely.
Oh, and I'm going to put this little blurb in here because only people who watch the video get to know the little nuances
blurbs.
of news that I find. The new Jedi Outlaws game that is coming. Jedi Outlaws? Star Wars Outlaws.
See, even you were like Star
Jedi
Wars games
Fallen
have to have
Outlaws.
Jedi. Fallen surviving outlaws.
No,
yes.
it's just the Fallen Outlaws.
Oh, okay. It's your Fallen series.
Yes, it's my new Fallen series.
Okay.
It's part of it now. D. Bradley Baker is going to be in it. He is voicing a character. I'm sure there's a few people out there who would immediately know which one he would be voicing, because...
Some would say some kind of clone trooper, but you would be wrong. It'll be a small furry animal because he likes...
It's Nyx!
He likes voicing small or big furry
Hey,
animals.
he voiced Appa and Momo in Avatar. And now he's voicing Nyx. So.
Is it really kind of
and
voicing...
He voiced Eagly, too, from the Peacemaker
Yes.
series.
Is that voicing or is that mimicking animal sounds?
Voicing.
It's a different... For me, that feels like a different category.
And he voices Nubs in the Young Jedi Adventures, which he doesn't really speak either.
Exactly.
So it's perfect
you're
for him.
You're not speaking.
D. Bradley Baker crosses
voice,
all medians.
To voice a character, you must speak. He's making animal noises.
He is all the animals.
He kind of is.
And all the clones.
And all the clones.
He's a very busy man.
He can get away with saying that. I am all the clones, sir. Thanks, Rex.
Thank you so much for your service. All right, and last, continuing on the vein of movie news and away from what D. Bradley Baker is up to, the James Mangold movie. He is writing.
What?
That's right, everybody. He's writing.
Well, that's a step further than I think.
Means he must be allowed to write.
Yeah, I know. He must not be part of the Writers Guild.
Yes, it's exciting. He has an interesting quote here that I will put out in the universe. He says, well, I've talked to Lucasfilm before and even worked a bit before on other projects, and I'm always interested in what's going on there and have friends who work on other Star Wars projects. But I understood that much of what they were doing was kind of continuing the saga forward. So when I mentioned to Kathleen Kennedy the idea that I had about going backwards, really far backward, I was surprised that it excited her and the other wonderful people she works with at Lucasfilm. For me, it's about, I want to be part of the saga, but I also don't want to be holding so much lore in the air that you can hardly tell a story. And what I really wanted to do, what I told her, was just, can we make a kind of 10 Commandments of the Force, you know? Kind of an origin story of how the Force came to be known, understood, wielded, and harnessed.
I hate to break it to him, but there is lore. It's like this. It's like the Simpsons meme. Simpsons did it, you know. Somebody else already did that at Star Wars.
Somebody did it. Yeah.
But what is he talking about? Like,
well, all the movies going forward are pigeonholed into following a very strict. These are the characters that exist. He gets to make all brand new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets to kind of play around in an era where we don't have much information, so he gets to set the tone of a universe.
I like that he's kind of saying, you know, making it sound like he's never worked with Lucasfilm before. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Well, he just said he's talked, and he said he's worked a bit before on other projects.
Worked a bit, like,
a lot. Doing Indiana Jones. And
like, that's the other big franchise in Lucasfilm's stable, and you're like, yeah, a bit.
Just, now and again, I work on stuff. I do think that that's actually an interesting decision, that he's the one who gets to pretty much, with, of course, I'm sure Lucasfilm will have their input, invent the history of the Force.
Yes, especially if he does not look at any of the Dawn of the Jedi stuff.
Right.
I mean, he does have to look at what
there are
the Last
still
Jedi did with the
yes.
Prime Jedi and the First Jedi Temple and all these things, so it's not like he has complete free reign here.
But it is interesting because he's kind of found a loophole that he gets to work in his own era, following, yes, basic Star Wars rules and have some sort of a lore guidance, but it's not like he's making a movie that's shoved into the Mandalorian era where he has to follow a very specific tone of the universe. To go, this is, okay, we're between this war and this war. These factions are having a problem. He doesn't have to do with any of that. He gets to invent it all from scratch. I mean, even as far as we know back from the High Republic era, transportation was difficult. Hyperspace lanes were, not there. Communication was difficult back then.
Yeah, which
he's
is
going
hilarious,
back even further. I feel like his stuff is going to be confined to, one planet. Because transportation would have been,
transportation back then
impossible.
wasn't, they weren't doing the whole interstellar
unless the
thing.
creatures,
unless
his aliens are riding around on Purgle. I think he's confined to one location or a small set of studying.
Well, the problem, the High Republic thing is so weird because they're making it sound like the Outer Rim is just now being explored. Like no one has ever been out there before, and we know that's not the case.
They're saying that communication and stuff is hard.
No, they're saying that they're just colonizing it now, and no one's really explored it too much.
Well, there could be indigenous indigenous
sure, of course
aliens
there
out
are.
there, obviously. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not saying that it's been devoid of life.
But they're saying the Republic is now kind of exploring that.
Yes, the Republic is exploring. But
I
who
don't know
knows
what
what
took
could
them
be
so long.
exploring back. Well,
No,
because
we
they were
know
having
now.
trouble with communication and establishing transportation lanes for moving supplies around, and they wanted to make it safe exploration.
Sure.
It's not the Oregon Trail. You got dysentery. Ha!
You have died of dysentery. Yes.
Yeah, they don't
Classic
want to die
memories,
of the
yes.
blue shadow virus.
No, nobody does.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, that was stopped. Well, that's all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. What 2 films do you think we're going to get in 2026, or do you think we're not actually going to get them despite the announcement? Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.